And we are back once again to talk to you about this week's Toku. I am Sleepy Witch, and I am joined by...
DJ Azure to 2.5D here, TalkTuber.
Oh, man. So, I mean, just starting with whatever the fuck happened in Goes Yuger this week.
Oh, man. A lot happened. So this is actually the kind of thing I was slightly worried about, is just having to balance out all three different types of fights.
Yeah, that was kind of insane. I will also say that every once in a while, a Toku will do something that is just so silly and so funny that this fucking kills me. And the fact that Tokunastsu lost his fucking prime ministership over carrying a sword as Don Momotaro, I was just like, because like, I saw that, and it took like a second for it to like register in my head, and I'm like, oh. And then I just was like, oh my god, that's so fucking dumb. But like in a way that I find it really charming. Like I really enjoyed that. Like, yeah, that's his motivation. That's his reason.
Yeah. But I mean, but honestly, like as messy as this episode was, it did okay, so number one, we didn't get a real resolution for the sweet cake fight, really.
No, we get that left for next week, kind of.
Yeah,
with the introduction of oh god, I keep forgetting its Japanese mech name. The Zero Ranger sword.
Yeah, Dairujin.
Dairujin.
Yeah.
Also, wearing the cloak, which I think everyone is talking about, putting the cloak on a mech is just aesthetically awesome.
Yeah, but it was so sick too, because like, okay, we might as well say the tweet that everyone was like, or at least a tweet that I saw like really heavily. In 23 seconds, they showed more respect to Zyuranger than Power Rangers ever did.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It feels bad. It feels bad.
Yeah. With how messy this episode is, let's just talk about the next week's episode. The fact that we're gonna be getting the Dino episode, where all four dinos are gonna be showing up in this one.
Yeah, we're getting the Dino episode. We're also getting some interesting looking conflict between Unicorn and Lion.
We kind of expected it, but I don't think it's gonna be about his eyes.
No. I don't think this is coming up yet. Okay, my current prediction is that like his eyes are a red herring, but it's definitely gonna be a thing that gets thrown into the middle of it. Like, oh, could it be him? And it's gonna cause a rift between them or whatever. But I also just think like, attitude-wise, these two are, in my opinion, very like, not uncompatible, but I feel like they both want to be the center of attention kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like, they're also supposed to be like next week is the Enchanting #1 battle. So yeah, especially because like, we've seen what Suino does. We've seen what oh my god, I already forgot his name.
I just call him Leon in my head still.
Yeah. We see what Leon does. Like, he's an idol, so he's meant to be super. Oh, Rikuo. Yeah, Rikuo. Yeah, because that basically means Lion King, essentially. So yeah. And it also looks like we're getting a proper roll call next week as well, too.
Yeah, they're finally assembled together, so that'll be fun.
Yep.
Going back to the, like, I guess, insanity of this episode.
Yeah.
Tokunatsu's insane.
Yeah, like, he basically puts them through these weird trials, like...
But, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of love him.
Yeah, it was great.
I really enjoyed him. I'm not going to lie to you at the end, because I remembered, after he said that his dream was having like a best friend, which again ends up being this whole thing because they were talking about like, I wonder what a man like Tokunatsu is wishing about. He just wants like a real equal best friend or whatever. And after he says that, he's like, you've lost, but I'm gonna make your dream come true. And it's like, oh, that's so cute. And then he like shakes his hand and then runs off. I was like, did he just steal the rings back and just like run off? But no,
it feels
he
like
didn't. It felt like it was gonna be like a con again, kind of the first time we saw him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm hoping we see him again.
I mean, we also feel the same way about Taya, or at least this universe Taya too.
About not Taya, yeah.
Yeah, because he just walks off. It's like, we're gonna
yeah. But I mean, at least that guy, in my opinion, like he more saw that like, okay, I maybe can't beat him in a 1v1 right now. I need to go work on some shit before I come back. But
Yeah.
whether
But
Tokunatsu
yeah.
was just, all right, I'm out. So I hope we see
Yeah.
Tokunatsu again.
Yeah, but yeah, we also learned about Hoyoru's like backstory, and it's messed up.
The fact that
Like
he got stuck in No One World and his brother is gone,
Mhm.
and
and
now
the
I'm
fact that like
I'm
and
looking at Fire Candle and I'm like, are you his brother?
dude, like okay, and it's like some people were also saying that Bouquet might be Oto.
Oh,
Like yeah, I mean it's like I saw that. It's like that one I don't believe,
that
but
would, yeah,
like
because she'd still be a lot younger, but also we don't know how time works between dimensions yet. You know?
yeah. But yeah, like what apparently we said, like he said when he came back, it was 15, like, or at least he was gone for 15 years. He had to survive for 15 years in no one world. Because he came back and his family had a new family already. Like he felt
Yeah.
so replaced. It's like like I said, this episode was really messy. Like we got a lot of good stuff, but at the same time, like the order of everything kind of like interspersed with each other because you had so much high action. You had this backstory going on.
And
You
then we just
basically
cut to Unicorn like fighting the cakes up in like the Coliseum.
yeah,
Which,
yeah,
to be
it's
fair, by the way, the fact that the shield could make the fucking Tegasword into like a centaur,
that was sick.
that shit rules. I also love, again, I think I've told you, I don't mind CG when they use it for shit that the suits can't do, but then immediately switch back to the suits. I love how that sequence starts with like a zoom in on the real suit and it ends on like the final attack with the real suit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to see the real suit do stuff. I don't just want the CG.
Yeah. But yeah, like yeah, we got a lot of really really good moments in the episode. Like when Ryuga like throws the dodgeball so hard that all of the that all the IEs just instantly just white flag.
They
It's
just
like
concede. I also
yeah
just fucking love the like playing house and how Hoeru is terrible at it, and then we have to have fucking Tokunatsu come in, and
yeah
I love him and Tokunatsu's vibe
yeah
as like weird friends, like weird kind of like mentor slash mentee, or like they have such
yeah
like an interestingly fun dynamic. And then to cap it off with the fact that one, we can see the Don Momotaro sword in his finisher, and
yeah.
two, we get the like destined clash of fate a la Don Brother.
Yeah, that was sick as hell.
It was so cool. And this, especially just having the other four just like watch, like wait a minute.
Yeah, like I said, it's like it was a weird episode, like because like
It's here's the thing. It is
it
like
was
structurally
unbalanced.
messy. Yeah, it was unbalanced. Really. I just couldn't help enjoy the whole thing. It was just kind of such a vibe. The just the insanity of it all, that like final battle, and then we still get the like winner goes you wolf, and I was like, oh right, I forgot about that.
Exactly. It's like,
Also,
like it was.
I
Yeah,
cannot wait to see him use the Don Momotaro armor next episode.
Yeah.
Because we see him shift into it, and it's one of those things where like the other cameos have been nice, but this is gonna be the first one where it's like, well, this is a suit that he got from like a guy that he's like friends with, that he cares about. I don't know. I just think it's cool. I'm excited about it in general. I want to see. I hope Tokunatsu is still like a reoccurring character, even if we don't see him like
awesome.
super often. He's got a new campaign to run anyway.
Yeah.
But with that, we're gonna talk about basically like the Ranger Red Isekai ending.
Yeah, 2 episodes worth essentially. But like really the main thing that we are going to be talking about here is like actually no, there's at least 2 things here. Like number 1, we basically see the Kizuna scepter happen because of Yidra.
Yep, which was super cute. I love that it also just kind of had like the own admission in like her head where it's like, this is me using the power for the man that I love.
Yeah, it was adorable.
It was cute. It was adorable.
Yeah,
I love it. Again, if we want to get a second season, I legitimately think they just have to try to start releasing Kizuna 5 toys. I think that would pay for the season.
Actually, talk about Kizuna 5 toys, and I realized that we actually are talking about 3 episodes this episode.
Yep.
The last episode 10, people kept like putting up that clip online. I say this is what it sounds like when you have too many toy sounds going on at once.
Oh my god, they're like, wow, this fight is really obnoxious, huh?
Yeah,
It was a good
endless
bit.
calls. It was so good.
I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have that as like another major point, and then of course like the last I guess the major point that we should talk about before we actually go into the ending in particular is what leads into the ending. Kizuna Black.
I was
Like,
not expecting. Here's the thing, because I've been watching the anime, and I'm gonna go catch up with the manga later, so I haven't spoiled myself with the manga. I thought it might happen whenever we saw him get like really angry when we fought that royal demon the first time.
mhm.
And then when it turns out that like he does have like a berserk form, I was like, oh, this is because you associate that a little bit more with Kamen Rider.
Exactly.
But even then, like I because I know he's talked about, like, the author has talked about how like he made the Kizuna Red design based on Rider, Ultraman, and Sentai to not just like make it like one thing.
Hmm.
Uh, but I first of all I adore the Kizuna Black form. The like taking the bonds and making them into like dark obsession, which is like a great inversion of like the theme and the vibe. Uh the getting to see his like backstory in like his darkest place while he's like screaming and crying and like basically just like destroys these guys. Uh the bandages just being able to kind of do anything, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just cool. And his voice actor was honestly giving a great performance. Uh you can fucking hear the fucking pain in his scream.
Yeah, but yeah, like no, honestly, it was really cool that we got a berserk form, and yeah, we basically it's kind of crazy too because we spend most of that episode dealing with it, and like yeah, like it's like ah man, there's just a lot to talk about. Like they basically like pull out a bunch of attacks to basically like pull him out of it, which is very Rider,
Yeah,
or
yeah, you're trying to like stop him without killing him. And I personally think it was such a cool bit to have like Low G be the one who stops him, and
yeah, exactly.
flashing back to the like, if you need to kill me to stop me, and he's like I'd ever take orders from you, asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cute. He really has like they really have grown together as a team. And I just love kind of like the camaraderie at the end and like everyone together. I'm gonna be real though. I got a little scared for a second because like when you see him right after that and he's like waking up in Yudra's lap and he's like glowing, my first thought wasn't like, oh, he's being healed. My first thought was like, my boy is dying. That's like when you just fucking burst into sparkles as a rider, dude.
Yeah.
I thought he was about to die or so. I was like, wait, what? And then it like zooms out and you see that she's using like healing. I'm like, oh, that's what's happening. That effect fucking caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. Uh,
But yeah, yeah, like honestly, it was really cool. Like seeing more backstory about like about how the Kizuna Five got together. We basically like learned Silver's whole deal of like seeing the future, and I got to see like one of my favorite lines ever, and I felt slightly called out.
which one?
So you're into pretty big boob tomboys, huh?
Oh, yeah,
That line.
that one is pretty. That is pretty indicative, huh?
Yeah, that line killed me because like I mean. There's other things, but I'm not gonna go into it. But yes, like honestly, I was laughing so hard at that line. It was so good.
It was a really good line, and it was also like a really devastating. I also just love one of the bits of like, oh hey, here's a 6. Are we the Kizuna 6 now? It's like no.
Yeah, it's like I'm doing my own thing. I'm like, yep.
I do also just like the Kizuna silver suit. I think it looks really sick.
Yeah, like it even has like the clock on the helmet and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep. Very cool vibes, very cool theming. The whole like she ended up not being able to fight the future because she wanted to be there to save him.
What
Really
also
depressing.
I will say what kind of slightly took me out of it. Like I mean, I was enjoying it, but at the same time, I couldn't help but do like the Leonardo DiCaprio point was because we're like when he basically screams like at his back and he's carrying her. Like I'm like saying, hey, I recognize that set. it's like I couldn't help but do that. I'm like, I recognize that. I recognize that location.
No, look, that's just how it is. That's how we know they're true to the source.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it was a really fun season. I love the little bits we got. I will say, having the like other little Kizuna 5 origin at the beginning of this one felt a little like out of place.
Yeah, I mean,
That was
I
a
think
thing that the friend I was commenting was watching, where it's like, huh, they really should choose a little bit better where they put these, because it's like, I was really ready to get into Kizuna Black right away.
Yeah, because we got that at the beginning, and then we get back to like them dealing with it, and then we get to the Kizuna Silver stuff, and then we finish up. So it basically swapped back and forth a couple times. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then we get the reveal that like his brother is now Kizuna White, and that they know that he's alive somewhere because they can see the fucking beasts being called. I like the bit that they're like, the beasts are being called, we do not know where. They've just been doing shit. We do not know where though.
Yeah, and then we see like suspicious statues that look like toku suits, and then we see the villains there.
Yep. And we basically get to see that like, yeah, there's more demons, there's more stuff, and hopefully that means we get more seasons.
Yeah, like pretty much like that ending made me just go, we better get a season 2. Also, you know what? It's spring, and I remembered that I saw it during my spring anime like stream last week.
What?
Was it Daishikaku Sentai is starting up again. Oh man, or Go-Go Loser Ranger. Sorry.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I always forget what it's called in English and Japanese. I know that anime is coming back.
Ranger Reject. That's what I should just call it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because that's what they ended up calling it, and I keep forgetting. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty caught up with the manga. It's good, and I like it, and it's interesting. But it's one of those where it's like sometimes, and I feel like especially the Ranger Reject title doesn't super work because it does not give me any real Power Rangers vibe. Like, it feels so Sentai coded that I feel like sometimes calling it Ranger Reject, it gives it a little bit of the wrong idea. But it's also just a story that's like not really about that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's about D and him doing his own shit and him figuring shit out. And it's like, oh, this conspiracies and stuff. Like, it's an interesting read though. I think I'm a couple chapters behind. I need to go catch up.
Yeah, I have not caught up on it, and I really do need to, because oh my god, Ranger Reject just cuts out and speeds through, like, it feels like I'm going through an episode in that anime.
Oh man, I did not know the anime was paced like that. That's pretty interesting.
It's ridiculous. Like people like that I know that are in my community that were like that have read it. They're like saying, "Oh yeah, no, they skip like 10 chapters for this one." Like, there's so much stuff that happens in the background. It feels like, the thing that sucks about it too is that the opening and endings for season 1 were so good that I basically just kept watching for that mostly, and then like I would basically just watch the episodes. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm missing out on like half this information.
Yeah,
it's like they'll adapt like one episode and they'll like gloss over 7. Adapt one episode, gloss over 7. Like that's how the pacing was.
Gotcha.
Like
yeah, as someone who hasn't actually seen the anime, I can't really say much about that.
Yeah, like I mean, well, since you're caught up with the manga, like they basically meet. I believe it's Double X. I think. Yeah. Was it? I forgot what they're called. But yeah, like the minion Double X or whatever, the girl. Like they meet her, and like
the one who's hiding out, right?
Yeah, like we meet her and we see like pretty much like all the way up to the end of that like parking garage test, essentially.
Which, by the way, I fucking love that it was a parking garage test. That was good.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I mean, like from what I know, that's like chapter 40.
Yeah, that's you started talking about that. I'm like, wait, isn't that? So that's if that's still season 1. That's pretty insane how much.
Yeah, 12 episodes. Yeah, they sped through that. But you know, it also feels like we're at like episode 40 right now. Gav.
Holy shit, dude. This week's Gav. I feel like this one is probably going to live in like the top 10 gayest toku episodes. Like, It might not be the gayest because I know I've seen some specific screenshots from some episodes, but like
Yeah.
this one was something else.
Yeah, and okay. So before we even started this episode, I was joking around saying that we should do a little bit of research on the Toku to BL pipeline, and you found out there's a BL to Toku pipeline, and that Honto's a plant.
Yeah, so I saw a couple people talking about the people who were in BL before they were Toku heroes, which includes Hotaru from Kamen Rider Gotcha himself, Gen Baboon Orange, Jeremy Kyoger White, Spider Kumino, and Honto, which is just like he's been a plant this entire time.
Oh man, but also, but I mean, like, man, where do we even? Okay, so what do we want to focus on with this episode? Because, so I mean, it's really funny that we're talking about how unbalanced Gojuger was, but this one was so well done. Like everything felt like it got time in this episode. Even if Lakia's moment was, let's start with Lakia's moment, because Lakia's moment lasted like 2 minutes, and that's all we needed.
Lucky is so funny. I love him. I love that it was like, all right, you're done with this? Cool. I'm going to kill that guy.
Yeah. And it's like, he beats that one. And then we basically see that Suga was like, we don't know what Suga's entire deal was, but we basically see that, he really was growing some kid in his basement.
Yep, and there was some little baby sock, and we see all the bitter gabs in a little vat, and they get fucking obliterated.
Yeah. And it's that joke, walks in, destroys the Evangelion ass, fucking shit going on, doesn't elaborate, leaves. Like that was literally Lakia this episode.
No, and I mean it was great. He really. Some people talk about that, like, oh yeah, when you have like an enemy rider and he becomes a good guy, you get the like good guy nerf. Bro still hasn't lost at all though.
Yeah. Yeah, like the closest he ever gets to losing is the fact that he has jelly.
Yep.
But yeah. But okay, so I guess there are two halves to this episode technically. We basically have all the BL stuff, and we have Suga. Which should we focus on?
I mean, here's the thing. They're all tied together. The Suga calling them out and being like, hey, you gotta meet us here, we're gonna come see you. I mean, just dude, okay, Suga's insane. I really liked him as a character. This whole setup, and then them finding out that his whole bit where he's been like, humans are such frail creatures is because of his kid, which we can only assume he lost. Fucked up. Shoma and Honto, like, oh, first of all,
make a child.
Honto crashing out. Hey, they made like 2 kids. That guy got like 2 voices. I think that's like 2 little guys.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, like no. At the beginning of this episode, Honto still has the middle part, and then like he gets jumped, and then has the bowl cut.
Yep. Which I don't think he's gonna keep. I am hoping that we do see now that he's like gotten better. Because man, seeing the flashbacks and them cutting forward, you could really see how much they've darkened his hair.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he goes back to the lighter hair color. I think that'd be like a cool like visual cue that he's doing better. But yeah, he gets the bowl cut. Huh?
Oh man, you know what I should have done with this episode before we recorded? I should have counted how many times he cried this episode.
Oh my god, they got him. Man. They got him. It was him thinking about his teacher, and oh my god, I didn't realize that like if we went back to his like boss / adoptive father being like, if you're so bad at fights, why do you keep getting into it? Was just gonna be a foreshadowing for his writer career.
Yeah,
dude.
But at the same time,
because he keeps trying to protect people, even if he's not the strongest.
Exactly, and I mean, okay, well, I mean, obviously, at this point, we do need to give shade to Mr. Number One, Mr. A Rank Alchemist, who basically, like, okay, look, and the reason why we accept Honto losing this much is because he's doing it because, like, it's like he's just reckless and just wants to protect. Like, he did not come off as I'm the best.
No. And he did a lot of dangerous things for power. And I
Yeah.
love that confrontation with Suga where he's like, I'm never gonna be strong in the way you want me to again. Like, ooh, some good
Yeah.
shit. I also love the like, Shoma decides to stay back. He gives him the motorcycle. He goes back to Dente and he grabs the belt and the
Mhm.
Gochizo, and it turns out he grabbed like an empty Gochizo.
Yeah, because they couldn't fill it. But also what was also great too, though, is like we had so many sweet moments because this is why everyone said this is basically like top five gayest episodes of Rider. Like seriously, like oh also most because I'm like just jumping across like that tweet you sent me about how like say man remember when Shoma was broke and didn't have money and here he is buying $7 Ghirardelli Choco what's it called Choco
Chocolixirs.
yeah, Chocolixirs. Yeah.
Thank you, Gal President Sachika. That was a good tweet. I do love that. I do love their scene eating the frappes together. It was very
Mhm.
cute. And he
Yeah.
talks about how he's not into sweets, but he's still trying it. And I love when we cut to fucking Sachika in the cave and she's just cleaned the whole thing up.
Yeah. Oh, and with rules like saying, yeah, it's like a clean home is a happy home and stuff like that. It was
It's
so funny.
very cute, especially because Dente is currently not paying attention to any of that. I don't think he noticed.
Yeah.
Uh, but we get him. He gets the. I always want to say he gets the Splash driver. He gets the Vlam driver. He comes back. He can't transform until even though first of all the fighting of them unsuited together was so cool. It was so good. Them fighting together against an unbeatable enemy.
Yeah.
It was such a cool visual. It was such a cool vibe. And then like you said, they make a kid. And we get our first like English speaking Gochizo, or I guess Japanese, but our first like human language speaking Gochizo,
Yeah.
which is two of them in one.
And
Which
yeah,
is
which
Choco Frappe Custom.
yeah, it was so cool seeing that because like it's like obviously when you see the toy, it's two parts and I'm like oh okay cool I wonder how it's gonna work like that and then you see Hanto's transformation and it is sick as hell.
Oh
He's
yeah,
yeah spinning with the straw and all that stuff. I'm like
it's
that's so cool.
it's cute and it just works with the snack. And then and then obviously the suit goes really hard. I really like Frappe Custom as an upgrade for
Mhm.
Honto. Uh,
Yeah.
Especially because it's so funny to talk about, Chokehold as like a fake upgrade because all he got was the angry eyebrows and now it's like a real upgrade. Uh,
Yeah.
oh man, then the fight is good, Mollywop Suga. I will say, one of the cool things about Rider, because of just the genre that it is the fact that, like, when a bad guy does something bad to you, there is, like, a catharsis in, like, punching him so hard he explodes.
Yeah.
Like, man, that fucking last bit where he, kicks through or like that punches through fucking Suga, and then Suga turns around and like almost fucking gets to him before he gets frozen, and then he gets
Yeah.
the other fucking kick. Fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, I can't really call it choreography because, like, a lot of the CG or at least like the effects were like kind of like doing a lot of heavy lifting this episode. The fight in like the library, like, what? Like,
Intense.
yeah, that was so cool. Like we even see like Hanto like make a Choco gun himself too. Like it was sick as hell.
It was a good vibe. That one really was where a lot of like the physical choreography was happening.
Mhm.
It was a good fight. But to then like cap it off with like, okay, we get the revelation that like Suga, was maybe doing this for his kid, and then he just dies, and he's with like humans are such fragile creatures, and then Nielv is there. It's like, yep, don't worry, I'll continue everything though.
Yeah,
It's
and before
such a good way. Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, go on. Yeah,
No, it's
yeah.
such a good way this episode to like, because we've talked about how like Suga sometimes seems more of a threat than the stomachs, and
Mhm.
this it's helped like recontextualize it on like one, not only like old great uncle Dente was able to like recreate the belt but not to go Chizo because he's been out of the game too long. And then in
Mhm.
addition, this framing Suga as like Nielv's underling, like, oh, you were too fragile to continue, but I'll finish it up, like kind of elevates Nielv a bit.
Yeah, that is a great way. Like, yeah, we've spent like what, 4 6 episodes, like, focusing on, like,
on
all this shit with
on the shit with
Suga.
Suga,
Like,
and he's been there from the beginning, and we've had like
yeah,
bad feelings about him since the beginning, and so then being like, yep, and don't worry, there's an even worse bastard to deal with.
yeah. But yeah, like, this is episode 28. Let me remind you, this is episode
Yeah, we
28.
got
This basically
at
means
least
we have at
20
least,
episodes to
yeah,
go.
exactly. And before we even get to the next episode preview, which has a massive revelation on our own right, let's talk about the scene that everyone
Oh my
just,
god, dude. Just the like carrying him on his back, the
yeah,
like, look, everything's gonna be really complicated, but I think we should stick together. At the end of the day, I think the sub you watched said I'm fond of you. The ones I saw just said I like you,
yeah.
and I think we should stick together. And it's just like, damn, that's basically as direct as writer can get,
Yeah, like pretty much everyone was like saying, like, to anyone that's subbing this episode or trying to watch this episode, no, that was not a friendship confession. That was
No, and I mean, like,
yeah.
here's the thing from the little Japanese. He even used Tsuki, right? Like,
Yeah, he used Suki, not Daisuke, but did say ski.
yeah, it wasn't love, but it was definitely like,
Yeah, which is why I kind of like how mine said it. Like, I'm fond of you, because it's still it's more than friendship. Still,
yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
It's something important. And I fucking love that when he ran out of the cave, he came back to get the fucking gummies, and they become relevant. He gives them the gummies to eat.
Yes! Oh my god!
I thought that came back, and it was so cute. He was thinking of him then.
Yeah!
All of it was so cute. They culminated together. I'm gonna be completely honest. At the very beginning of the series, because I really like Sachika, I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna really like her relationship with Shoma. And then as it's progressed, and she's obviously, more of like his older sister / like mom character, I've just been like, I have not been able to think of Shoma with anyone but Hanzo. They're so cute together.
It is.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
And this whole arc of them being depressed when they're apart has been so cute. Especially in like now where we got the like combination where, and now we got next episode where it looks like we're getting silly shenanigans from them. And on the other side, the Stomach Corporation, guess who's back?
Jeeves back, and he's married.
And she's adorable.
Yes.
Both her like regular like design and outfit, but her monster design is so cute too. Like her, I love her. Like I love that show where like they do the zoom in on her face and it's like flashing the like monster, like the grand nude appearance in her. So cute. That's so nice.
Yeah.
And so
also,
it's like.
Also with the next episode preview, one of my favorite memes that I will always love every single time someone does this is that he will never be ballin'.
Oh my god, dude! It's what I was talking to you about, Lakia. The Lakers need you. Holy shit! We're getting the basketball episode. It's just so funny that it looks like on one side we're gonna be having kind of like a cool down episode for them, where it's like we're having another silly Grand Nude hunting adventure and also playing basketball, and it's like on the other side, politics are happening at Stomach Inc.
Yeah, and the best part too is that the rest of the family just looks absolutely shocked. And remember, the funny thing too is that when they sent off Jeeb and Sheena, they said, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna marry you off."
Sure. But the thing is, he went off and he got married on his own, which means that, it's not something they can use anymore.
Yeah. So
it's kind of
excited.
The like, you got your wish, monkey paw curls.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. It was super good. I continue to be super excited. We won't have any more Red Ranger to talk about for a bit. But I mean, hey, Ultraman will come back at some point. Jasaurus is coming back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll get another one of oh god, what was the night themed one we watched? The little indie one?
Oh man,
Avalon. Maybe Avalon will come back with a second bit soon. We'll be here basically talking about Toku. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and we will see you later.
Later.
This program is brought to you by
our unending love of Tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
You can also find us at Ko-fi at halfhourhenshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.